Hello, welcome to another recap video. This drama is about a girl named Ha-yoon. She is a scriptwriter. One of her major concerns is that whomever she dates, it only lasts for less than 100 days, and she never gets to celebrate their 100th day anniversary. Her past relationships are shown where her boyfriend breaks up with her before reaching their 100 days of dating. She believes that this is a curse in her love life and tries to find ways to break this curse and date someone for more than 100 days. She meets a fortune teller and asks her for help. The fortune teller tells her to pick 3 tarot cards and says that based on the cards, she will meet a boy in the near future whom she will fall in love with. Then she will be able to date with him for more than 100 days, but she has to put in effort too to break the curse. She gets a text from her workplace manager that they are gathering in a club. Yoon goes there with her college friend Han Kang-jin. They've been friends for over 7 years now. He is her only friend. Yoon tells Kang-jin that she wants to dance and knows that her Prince Charming will appear tonight. Yoon starts dancing to get attention. She believes in the fortune teller's words that this time she won't fail to protect her relationship. Everyone steps aside as she's dancing with her full force. At that time, someone enters the club and starts staring at her. The boy's name is Nam Tae-yoon. As soon as Yoon's eyes meet his eyes, she knows that he is her destiny. They start dating with each other, as he is working in the same office as hers. The scene is changed to about 3 months later, where both of them are at a cafe, and Tae-yoon tells her that it is the time for them to break up, as nothing is going well in their relationship. She doesn't want to give up now before celebrating their 100 days of dating in order to break the curse. Yoon suggests him 1 month of breakup grace period, where they won't bother each other and will meet only twice a week without meddling in each other's lives. Tae-yoon eventually agrees to it and writes a contract so they can both sign it. It's also shown that when she visited the fortune teller, one of the cards was dropped, which shows that instead of 1, 2 men will appear in her life. Yoon meets with her friend Kang-jin. She always shares her life's details with him and gets advice from him. She tells him about the grace period for 1 month and wants to do anything to grab Tae-yoon's attention in that time. Kang-jin suddenly remembers 7 years ago when he first met with Yoon at the college. She was running away with his boyfriend's backpack who wanted to break up with her. Kang-jin helped her to hide so he wouldn't find her. That was when they started becoming friends, as they didn't have any other friend and felt comfortable with each other. He is the only person who understands her and is always by her side. He lives in the next door of her unit. Yoon is now thinking about a plan to be successful in getting Tae-yoon's attention. She suggests Kang-jin to pretend to be in love with her and flirt with her in front of Tae-yoon, so he will become jealous, but he doesn't agree to it as he believes it is wrong to fake the situation. He goes to restroom, and as she's sitting there alone, some boys approach her to get her number. She just wants to find someone to make Tae-yoon jealous. As she's giving them her number, Kang-jin comes and stops her. He claims to be her boyfriend and asks them to leave. Yoon gets very shocked as he rejected her offer minutes ago. She makes cute faces to make him agree to her plan, and he eventually accepts it. They also start writing a contract by mentioning that Kang-jin will be the fake lover for 1 month, and he will take her to dates twice a week to make Tae-yoon jealous. She tells him that she will cover all the costs of their dating, and once 1 month is over, the contract will be invalid. They both sign it. Ha-yoon writes stories, and Nam Tae-yoon reviews her work. She starts writing her own story with all of her dating experience. As soon as he reads her work, he realizes that the boy she mentioned in her writing is him. Yoon tells him that the girl in the story will have a happy ending, but he mentions again that she shouldn't have high hopes as things might not turn the way she wants. Yoon constantly tries to get closer to him by grabbing his hand or act nicer in front of him, but none of her tactics actually work. Therefore, she starts reading about how to get attention and leave a good impression on your partner. She decides to change the way she dresses and her behavior too. They go on their weekly date, which is mentioned in the contract. She compliments whatever he tells her and tries to act cute in front of him by seducing him as she's trying to show her attractive side to him. However, none of this works as he doesn't get any close to her, despite her continuous efforts during their date. They arrive at their house, and she thinks he wants to kiss her, but Tae-yoon tells her that her behavior today is annoying and makes him feel uncomfortable around her. Yoon gets very sad as she hears his words. She apologizes to him for making him feel uncomfortable by her behavior. Her eyes are teary, but she holds off on crying and gets off his car. The next day that they go to work, but she isn't acting cute anymore and tells him that she wants to add a third character to the story to create a love triangle. At that exact moment, her friend Kangjin enters the room. It turns out he has received an offer to create the music for OST, as he is a musician, and he's accepted the offer, as he knows that he will be working with Hyun in this project. Hyun is surprised to see him there, but she's very happy because she can now create jealousy moments at their workplace. Taeryun actually gets jealous when he sees Yoon and Kangjin are friendly and close to each other. For the first time, he asks her to eat dinner with him tonight. However, Kangjin interrupts him and says that she has a dinner plan with him tonight. He puts his hand on her shoulder to increase the tension, and they leave. It is obvious that their plan is working, as Taeryun is getting concerned about Kangjin's and Yoon's closeness. Yoon and Kangjin go out to eat dinner together. She gets drunk and asks him why Taeryun is not attracted to her. She gets close to him to show her beauty and asks him if she is unattractive. Kangjin's heart starts beating faster and faster as her face gets closer to him. He then pushes her away and tells her that she's very drunk. He also has feelings for her, but he's never told her about it, thinking that she'll definitely reject him as she doesn't love him. As they're walking, he protects her from getting hit by the bicycle riders. Both of them are hugging each other tightly, which creates a romantic situation, and it makes their hearts flutter. The next day, Kangjin seems to be out of focus, and his colleague tells him that this behavior is the behavior of a person who has deeply fallen in love, but he doesn't want to accept the fact that he loves Yoon. On the other hand, Yoon keeps thinking about last night in Kangjin, and she also seems to be confused about the situation. At that moment, Taeryun approaches her and asks her to go out with him again, as they haven't gone on a date this week. This makes her happy, as she thinks her tactic is finally working. Her happiness doesn't last long, as he asks her if she has feelings for Kangjin. He tells her to inform him when she wants to date Kangjin, so they will end their grace period contract. Yoon gets shocked and asks him if it is that easy to talk about her dating another boy. He answers without any emotions, telling her that they have written in the contract to not meddle in each other's lives. She gets angry and leaves the restaurant. She thought that his feelings towards her have awakened because of jealousy, but she was wrong. Kangjin notices Yoon and approaches. He buys her drink and tries to calm her. He tells her that Taeryun is not important, and she should think about herself as he doesn't deserve her tears and sadness. He asks her for help to see if his new music is good. They both go to Yoon's home, where he starts playing his music for her. She gives some suggestions to him to make it sound better. As they are listening to it, they keep staring at each other, which is a very meaningful gaze as both of them are each other's comfort zone whenever they feel down. She's bought a rod for hanging her clothes in the closet. He's helping her to install it. Yoon is trying to test its strength and keeps pulling it, which she eventually falls down from the chair, and everything falls on Kangjin. She checks on him, and his hand is badly injured. Yoon is feeling responsible for what's happened to him and is sad. He's trying to boost her mood by telling her that everything is fine, and she can be his right hand until it gets better. She accepts his offer and decides to spend her entire time in his house to do all his work for him until his hand gets better. She moves into his house early in the morning, which shocks him, and she helps him wash his face. She prepares breakfast and lunch for him and helps him to eat. He's actually happy about the situation, as Yoon is now spending more time with him. She takes care of him carefully and does all the housework. He's actually playing in front of her, as now he can move his hand, but he's pretending in front of her that his hand is still hurting, so she'll continue to take care of him. She starts asking him why he changed his major to music. Kangjin says that someone told him that musicians are cool, so he decided to become one to make that person happy. That person was actually Yoon herself, but he doesn't tell her about it. When she leaves, she forgets her phone on his desk. She comes back to pick it up and notices that his hand is actually fine and gets to know that he was pretending that it's hurting. She doesn't know that his intention was to spend more time with her. Yoon gets angry and starts chasing him. As she's chasing him outside his house, Taeryun arrives and sees them very close to each other. He misunderstands the situation, gives her the gift that he bought for her, and then leaves. He doesn't stay to hear her explanation and just leaves, which shows that he doesn't trust her enough. Kangjin again is with her in this sad moment and takes her to a restaurant to cheer her up. He always supports her and makes her forget her pains. While they are eating, Taeryun enters the restaurant with another girl. Yoon sees them and immediately tells Kangjin to hide under the table. She then carefully switches her sit to be able to hear their conversation. That girl is Taeryun's ex-girlfriend. She asks him about his current relationship. He says that he is in a breakup grace period with his girlfriend, but he doesn't like the situation at all as it's annoying for him. Yoon gets very sad and immediately leaves the restaurant. Kangjin follows her, so she won't be alone. Yoon wants to cry, and with teary eyes asks Kangjin if he also thinks that she isn't beautiful and she's actually annoying. He refuses to answer at first, and she leaves. He chases her and tries to tie her shoes. He says that she is a very beautiful woman with a lot of potentials, but she doesn't value herself and doesn't see her own beauty. His words give her confidence and energy that she doesn't lack anything, and Taeryun's words shouldn't hurt her feelings at all. Yoon is now feeling better and asks him to wait for her. Then they both start walking together. Kangjin has made her realize her values and importance. Another scene shows Taeryun in the restaurant where he tells his ex-girlfriend that he wants to end the grace period contract and actually start dating Yoon for real. However, Yoon heard the wrong part of the conversation and completely misunderstood. Taeryun. Over the next days, Kangjin keeps buying food for her and writes funny notes and puts it in front of her door. All these make her happy, and she puts all those sticky notes on the wall to boost her energy whenever she feels down. One day, as she's waiting for Kangjin's food and funny note, someone knocks on the door. That person is Taeryun, who is drunk and asks Yoon to stay with him. He then collapses on her shoulder. He stays at her house that night. When he wakes up, he apologizes to her and asks her to date him for real. Very surprisingly, Yoon doesn't agree immediately and says that she needs time to think about his proposal as it's a very crucial matter for her. She is now uncertain about her feelings towards him. Kangjin comes in front of her door and wants to check how she is doing. At that moment, Taeryun comes out of the house and they meet. He tells him that they will meet more often now. She goes to the laundry room and Kangjin comes there too. She immediately smiles when she sees him. He asks her what she will do if she likes someone, but knows that person doesn't have feelings for her. Yoon says that she will confess to that person even if that person rejects her, because at least she will know that she has been honest with her feelings. Kangjin finds enough courage and says that he likes a girl. Yoon asks who is that girl. He then says, "I like you." Yoon is confused at first and thinks that he's joking, but she realizes that he is very serious about his confession and is not joking. Kangjin has decided to make her fall for him and not give her up to someone else as he has done over the past 7 years. He gets closer to her at office and asks her to go on dates with him as they have mentioned it in the contract. Yoon is very confused now as both boys try to get closer to her and win her heart. All three of them go to restaurant together as none of them is ready to leave Yoon with the other one. She gets drunk and is sleepy and they both fight over her. Yoon asks him to officially break up with her and let her go as he only makes her suffer because he doesn't want to see Yoon being suffered by another boy again. However, Taeryun doesn't want to give up. Kangjin goes back home and starts looking at his old stuff. He finds the letters that Yoon wrote to him when he was in military. He starts smiling as he's reading her funny notes. He then sees their photo together that they took in college years and remembers their good memories together. Taeryun decides to celebrate her birthday together and buys a necklace for her as a gift. Yoon then, with a serious tone, asks him if he actually likes her. He says that it is difficult for him to say this stuff, but he will try to get used to it. Yoon says that if he actually likes her, then it wouldn't be difficult for him to realize his feelings for her. She says that they should break up for real and wishes for him the best, and leaves. She has realized that she actually has feelings for Kangjin, and she kept refusing to break up with Taeryun just to break the curse. Kangjin thinks that he has no chance with Yoon anymore, so he decides to stay at his colleague's house for some time and avoid meeting with Yoon. He doesn't contact with her at all. Yoon gets very sad as she's used to talking with him. She suddenly remembers the past when they were together at college and they were listening to music. She then started playing guitar and told Kangjin that becoming a musician is very cool. Yoon has finally realized that she has been Kangjin's inspiration for changing his major and becoming a musician. She's happy that she's someone important in his life and has impacted his journey. He sends her his final work for the piece, and she happily listens to it. Yoon decides to find him and ask him about his feelings towards her. Kangjin is walking when Yoon suddenly calls him. She angrily tells him why he hasn't contacted her over these days. She asks him if his feelings towards her have changed over time, or does he still like her? Kangjin is very surprised to hear all this. He then says that nothing has changed in his feelings towards her, and he's always liked her. She gets very happy to hear that and kisses him. Yoon says that she loves him. Kangjin gets emotional and says why it took her so long to tell him these words. They then share a beautiful kiss in the park. Both of them have finally realized their feelings for each other and confess to each other without any hesitation. The drama ends where both of them are at her house and have officially started their relationship. They start teasing each other and chase each other around the house. Both of them are very happy since they started dating, and Yoon has finally found the person whom she's been able to date for more than 100 days, because this time both of them love each other and their feelings are sincere. Thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned for upcoming recap videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe the channel. Bye everyone.